Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Ve'eschanan, Moses is denied his Rage trip, his trip to Israel. And he davens for this trip. He davens to be able to go into Israel 515 times to Hashem. And the question we have to ask is, why was Moses davening to go to Israel? Was it so that he could float on the Dead Sea, or climb Masada, or go to the Golan Heights winery? It was obviously none of that. So what exactly was his push to want to go in? As a matter of fact, he even wanted to look at it and be able to see what was going on over there. So the question is, why? An idea I wanted to share with you, I may have shared this in the past, but it's kind of a follow-up to last week's speech. So hence the reason I'm bringing it up. But Moses wasn't interested in Israel simply for the physical beauty. Of course, that was important, and that's something we should praise and laud Hashem for. But rather, there are certain mitzvahs, certain commandments that we can only fulfill only if we're there. And that's exactly what Moses wanted. Any way extra to be able to connect to Hashem, that's what his will was. As a matter of fact, the Medrash teaches us, and I may have shared this with you in the past, that there's an interesting measure that says that Moses prayed to Hashem that he should not go up to the world to come, and he should rather remain in this world, even to be a lower element of life, a flower, a dog, whatever it might be. And the question is, why would he want that? Moses knew exactly what was waiting for him. This garden, this paradise was waiting for him, and he would have the best seat in the house of anybody previous to him or anybody who came subsequently. So why would Moses give all that up and give up being with Hashem just to be able to be a flower on this earth? And one of the answers given is that all Moshe was interested in was not himself. He was interested in making Hashem's name great throughout the entire world. And even a flower, when you behold a flower and you see that a flower has certain color, you have to ask yourself, where did that color come from? What's the purpose of that color? And the purpose of that color is to attract the bee to be able to go and pollinate that flower. And then what does the bee do with the pollen? It goes back to his hive and he's able to make honey. All that is something that should wow a person in one of Hashem's incredible creations. And Moses was interested only in proclaiming Hashem's great name. And Moses wasn't interested in himself. He didn't want to go upstairs to do it for himself. He wanted to serve Hashem. And the best way to serve Hashem is down here in this earth. And the best way to serve Hashem was by going into Israel and being able to fulfill those mitzvos that he could not fulfill outside of Israel. That's called living for Hashem, to be able to connect. It's like a boat that's in front of you, and you want to harness onto it, so you throw a hook and it attaches you to that boat. The more hooks you have attaching you to that boat, the stronger is your support, and the more you're hooked on, you have a safer ride. That's how Moshe looked at the mitzvah observance, being more connected with Hashem. And this is a follow-up to last week's, because last week we spoke about sinas chinam, hating Hashem for nothing. Whether it was because people were happy to do a sin, or whether it was because when other Jews sinned, it didn't bother us as much. And Moses was the exact opposite of that. He only wanted people to come closer to him. And even by being a flower, people can recognize Hashem's greatness. That's what Moses was interested in being. And being able to do another mitzvah, to be able to identify with Hashem, that was loving Hashem, even for nothing. Now, going into Israel is not for nothing, but to be a flower, to be a dog, which is another incredible creation by Hashem, but thereby being able to see Hashem in this world, that's something that Moses lived for, and we should live for that. That's loving Hashem for nothing, even just for a flower. That's hopefully should be everything we do in our world should just be really for Hashem's sake. And if that's the way it is, everything else will come along easier. Have a great Shabbos. Talk to you soon.